Great. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Sharon. And thanks for my friends and family for joining. It is a select few, and purpose behind it is that they truly do know who I am. They know about me, what my passions are, my story. They know what's been happening as of late with work. So for the most part, but most of them know my passion about health and wellness, and an opportunity to share my great experience with Juice Plus, which goes back several years when I first met Karen at a health fair with one of our clients in common. So when I met Karen back then, I was going through a significant change in my life, and not a bad thing, but things were very busy. So it was very difficult for myself to navigate everything as best I can. And so health being so important for me personally, and that was what I did for a living. So I had to be the picture of health. In addition to that, I had 2 young kids that were depending on me to make sure that I did all that was best for them. I wasn't getting everything that we needed health-wise. So when I met Karen, I love what she had to offer. I love what she was speaking about by way of nutrition. We were completely like-minded. I was spending more time at her table than doing what I was supposed to at work and navigating the other tables at the health fair. So needless to say, she introduced me to Juice Plus, all that the products had to offer. She also had an amazing tower garden that was impressive. So everything that she had to offer, I was interested in. Needless to say, we didn't continue at that event. It was probably a year later when we met again at the same client's health fair, and that was it. It was the start of a new and great opportunity for me with Juice Plus, and having a great and evolving friendship with Karen. So I wanted to share all of that with you all. And I know Ileana is very familiar with Juice Plus, because guess who had capsules and gummies at my desk, and people would come by and grab it. What is that stuff? Patty, you know that your daughter, when she would spend time with me, nutrition is super important for Patty.
Yep.
And butter. So she would ask me, how'd you get her to drink those shakes? Well, it's, you know, it's a mommy secret that we shared. So every once in a while, Patty asked me, where'd you get that stuff?
And the vitamins are the best. Like that's the only vitamins that my daughter likes. Malena, where did you go those? I can find them. So she always gave me like a bottle. Okay, there is another bottle. There is another one.
So the gummies are a favorite, right? The gummies. So I'm hoping that Karen and Sharon can share that information. And our Juice Plus opportunity in the household has evolved. My daughter loves the shakes. They're a staple for me as well. My son is finally drinking the Juice Plus shakes, so that's exciting, and always pushing me to get that tower garden. So we're working on that, because he is passionate about growing his own fruits and veggies. So we just got the new, what's it called? I don't even know what it's called. We just got it in
the Perform.
The Perform, because Robert said, I want a protein powder, but this one doesn't have enough protein, Mom. I said, well, that's not for a complete. Let's try the new one. So I'm excited to share all this information with you, not just because of the product, but because of the science behind the product. As you all know, I have my degree in nutrition and exercise science, so I am passionate about not only the world of nutrition, but also the science that backs it up. I'm not ready to, take something just because, some celebrities all for it. The science that backs up the juice products is super impressive, and by all means is not comparable anywhere with any competitor. And last but certainly not least, probably my most favorite thing about Juice Plus is the community. The community gets me on task. I invited a couple of you to the Facebook community there. We just finished up a 10-day shred, but it's actually for the whole month. So if you're interested in that, we can talk about that as well. It's helped me to, after the holidays, cut down that sugar. I haven't had the alcohol after the holidays. I've cut down the caffeine to 1 cup a day. And it just really, the community keeps you on track and keeps you motivated, so that you're not quitting on your goals for the year on day 19 of the month and the year of your goals. It is a community that will keep you encouraged and motivated without any finger pointing throughout the year. So perhaps I said too much, but maybe it's the passion coming out. And then I'll like to turn it over to Karen and Sharon.
All right, let me, you left nothing for me to say.
I told you that's what I do all day. So sometimes you have to shut me up.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so how do I spotlighted her because she is on, she's talking on her phone, but then, oh, there we go. But then the video like on her laptop is her. So what we, in the beginning, we were just seeing your little M. So gosh, what she said was exactly true. I mean, I love those vendor events because sometimes I sit next to people that I really just had so much fun with. And I had so much fun with her. And I love that we are so like-minded. I love that, you know, that she got it. Like when you talk to people and they just get what you're saying. So she just has been a perfect fit for this community for years. And she's going to nod her head. Every like probably twice a year, I'd be like, you know, you really are perfect for this. And she's like, no, I'll share it. But, you know, I don't have any interest. And now finally, I think that, you know, she's excited to share it with all her friends and family. So we're excited to tell you a little bit more about it. All right, so I'm going to introduce Sharon. So I do love this community, and the community does help keep me on task because you're going to hear my story later. And I was not healthy, and I still every now and then, like I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I'll eat kale and then I'll have a brownie. So, you know, you just not like you have to be perfect to, you know, to do this. But Sharon, I met through this community, I guess probably about 17 years ago, which is crazy. So, and it's just awesome. I love that. I love her and her husband. You're going to hear a little bit about their story. They're like a little power couple, and it's just so much fun. So, all right, so let's start the presentation, Sharon, and then I can tell my story later.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Karen. And I'll remove your spotlight. There you go. So I am so excited to be on here, and I just see that Malena obviously attracts some awesome people. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for supporting her on her journey, and for being open-minded to listening to what she's excited about. And she has so much credibility that, like Karen said, we could kind of just leave, but we'll go ahead. We'll do the presentation. I have been sharing Juice Plus and the community and all that it has to offer for 22 years, and helping people get healthy and also helping to build businesses. So that's what we do for Malena. We're her support system. There's a lot of support. There's doctors, there's a whole network of professionals that help because there's a movement, you know, for people to want more quality of life and to better themselves. And so that's really what we're all about. We're like one simple change at a time and continuous improvement and getting better at doing this life thing, right? And so like Karen, I was not a healthy eater. I was from Ohio, and then Ohio meets Kentucky later in life. My mom, who married somebody from Kentucky, so it was meat and potatoes, Mary's fried meat and potatoes. So that was how I started growing up. And then it was fast food meat and potatoes, McDonald's, you name it, you know? And then if you went on an errand with your mom, you either got the fast food meat and potatoes, or you got Coca-Cola or M&Ms or Reese's or any of those things. So my diet was not good at all. And it was not having raw fruits and vegetables. So when I started to learn what I'm going to share with you guys tonight, I was like, oh my gosh, where has this information been? Because it wasn't in my family. And now with the internet, you guys, you know, this might all be just like a refresher for you to get you back on track with the new year or whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh, by the time I learned this, I was 32 and I had 2 master's degrees. And so it was very eye-opening. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I get a degree in nutrition, you know? So I've learned a lot, and we learn a lot like from that network of professionals and thousands of doctors who recommend Juice Plus. So I'm going to share that information with you right now. Okay. So the very first thing I saw and heard about was the American Cancer Society poster. Can you see my screen okay, Karen? Thumbs up. Okay. So up at the top right, it was like, oh my gosh, this is how you help prevent cancer. You know, and it's all fruits and vegetables on that poster. And then we saw a poster that used to be the American Cancer Society poster, which was like, watch for fast growing moles, don't smoke, things like that. But then it moved to eat more fruits and vegetables. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a good reason to eat more fruits and vegetables. No one ever thinks they're going to get cancer, right? But, you know, just in case, you want to do as much as you can to prevent cancer. So that's amazing that that's what's on the American Cancer Society poster. And I started to learn that every day that you don't have enough fruits and vegetables, it's like standing in front of an X-ray machine. We have oxidative stress, and that leads to mutation of cells, and it leads to aging earlier, which none of us want to do, right? I'm now in my 50s too, Malena. So, you know, you become very aware of, okay, let's slow that aging process down. Anyway, these are the keys. The fruits and vegetables are the foundation. So these are all, these articles have to do with cancer, but if you look up pretty much any disease or disorder, one of the first recommendations is going to be eat more fruits and vegetables. So that's what I was learning 22 years ago. And the Time magazine article way back when, 2003, says the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, it's that they're so good they could save your life. Okay, so sometimes you might see people who are like, okay, I just was diagnosed with something, now I need to eat so many fruits and vegetables, now I'm going to juice, right? Really hard to keep up with. And also the amount that we're supposed to have. So I'm going to get into the amount. Let's see, I didn't want this one. This is like out of order for me. Okay, so the amount of fruits and vegetables, Karen's like, why did you just do that? I saw that look. Anyway, I'm not perfect, you guys. So anyway, the amount that we need, and some people get hung up on the 7. The 7 is for children. So it's really like 9 to 13 servings for adults of fruits and vegetables that we're supposed to have every day. And that's preferably raw, preferably vine ripened, which we're not necessarily getting in the stores. Okay. And then, you know, preferably herbicide, pesticide free, non-genetically modified, things like that. So we need a lot of fruits and vegetables, and not the same ones every day. We're supposed to have a variety, like the blues and the purples, they do a certain thing. The greens do a certain thing. All the different colors do a certain thing. And a lot of times people are trying to bridge the gap with vitamins. So I'll go back to that slide. Okay, so multivitamins is something that people do when they feel like, oh, I haven't eaten well, right? Why else are they taking multivitamins? They feel like they're missing something, right? Well, our doctors believe that it's not a vitamin deficiency that we have. It's actually that we're not eating the whole food nutrition that we're supposed to have, which means not a lot, you know, not depending on processed foods for our nutrients, but depending on what grew from the ground, what was close to nature. So in a vitamin supplement, you're only getting like 30 isolated nutrients that they're replicating and creating chemically in a lab. Where an apple, if you look at the right, that's one page of 25 of what's in an apple. There's 10,000 nutrients in an apple, 10,000 in an orange, 10,000 in a papaya, 10,000 in kale. There's so many thousands of phytochemicals, plant chemicals in each fruit or vegetable that it's so much better to eat the fruit or vegetable. The problem is, you know, statistically, hardly anyone is eating enough fruits and vegetables. And maybe statistically like 2 a day, and maybe the same ones all the time, you know? So it says here also, just as far as vitamins, research shows that isolated vitamins may do more harm than good. And you can look that up. It's the Annals of Internal Medicine. And that is an article called Enough is Enough, telling doctors, you know, we've had enough research on vitamins. They're not necessarily preventing disease. So anyway, you could do that research on your own. So that's one thing I like to make sure people understand, is that vitamins and minerals come from fruits and vegetables. So we need that to help reduce oxidative stress and also to get those nutrients. So oxidative stress is something that we have just by breathing, exercising, all the different habits that we have. They probably create more or less oxidative stress. So if you have a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're actually neutralizing that oxidative stress. Everybody's got a certain amount. You want to have that same amount of fruits and vegetables going into your body every day. Otherwise, you have what's called mutagenic oxidants hitting on your good cells 10,000 times a day. So we don't want that. That's what then causes that early aging and disease process. We want to slow that down. That's what we do when we put lemon on an apple. We're adding an antioxidant to something that's oxidizing. So the same concept is true in the body, that we have this metabolic response, but we can do something about that. And that's why so many fruits and vegetables are recommended. And it's not just in America, it's all over the world. Everyone's got some kind of minimum recommendation. Ours is 7 for children, 9 to 13 for adults. And that's a minimum in a society where we do have problems with heart disease, cancer, things like that. So it's better to even go over the minimum. Okay. So I was so thankful, because I'm not a perfect eater, even though I'm a stay-at-home vegetarian at this point. I am not a perfect eater, and it's not necessarily my preference to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables all day. I try. Okay. I know the logic behind it. So I'm thankful for Juice Plus. It keeps me on, balanced and out of the doctor's office. The fruit blend has acerola cherry, apple, beet, peach, pineapple, lemon peel, cranberry, date, orange, mango, and prune. The vegetable blend has beet, broccoli, rice bran, cabbage, lemon peel, parsley, carrot, garlic, kale, spinach, tomato. The berry blend has artichoke, blackberry, bilberry, blackcurrant, cranberry, elderberry, blueberry, cocoa, Concord grape, pomegranate, and raspberry. So imagine having that in your body every single day. So that's what has been happening for me and my family for 22 years. And it's just really a tool, it's a tool, it's a foundation for better health every day. You take 2 capsules of each, and basically you've had a bunch of fruits and vegetables that have been pulverized. It's raw, it's vine ripened, it's proven, which we'll get to in a little while. And so whatever we're eating, we're trying to bridge that gap, between what we do eat and what we should eat, which is, if we lived off the land, it would look like the picture on the right, So we have the fruit vegetable berry blend that I explained to you in that picture. And I don't want to go into all detail tonight, but because there's videos that you can watch and things like that. So that's the fruit vegetable berry blend. That is my #1 recommendation for anybody. And then we have the omega. It's a plant-based omega. And then we have the complete shake. So we're going to go into a little more detail on those. This is me before and after, okay, putting myself out there for you guys. So the first picture is me before Juice Plus, okay, 32, having my first baby, not knowing anything about better health. And so maybe, hopefully you can see the difference between me then and 8 years later when I'm 40, having my 3rd baby. So much healthier. I had made a lot of simple changes, starting with Juice Plus, also the complete shake. And then I thought I was just so cool because I was doing flaxseed also, and then over time, just little changes. And that's what Malena's talking about too. Our group is all about, let's just keep making little changes and get healthier and healthier. And so even though that doctor at age 40 wanted to hand me brochures about everything that was going to go wrong because I had advanced maternal age, I had 40-year-old eggs, everything was great. And I went through all the hoops that he made me go through. So what makes Juice Plus different? There's probably at least 10,000 other products out there. Okay. So there's a few things. It's a food product. Like I said, we have a food deficiency. We don't necessarily have a vitamin deficiency, but we're missing good nutrients that are from whole food. And you can read the rest. They check all the boxes, vegan, gluten-free, things like that everybody wants nowadays, right? And then it's NSF certified. Supplements and food are not approved or disapproved of by the FDA. So you really need to have a third party telling you it's safe and a third party telling you it's effective. So that's what number 2 and 3 are about. Okay. It's NSF certified, which is a not-for-profit agency that's showing you, yes, what's on the label is in the product, what's in the product is on the label, nothing more, nothing less. You've seen those articles with consumer labs where all of a sudden they pull off things off the shelf and there's too much of this, too little of that, and maybe a little bit of lead in here, things like that, and if you need those articles, let me know. But anyway, NSF certification says, it's all good, right? It says more than that, but just in general. Number 3, it's the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. It's actually the largest selling as well. And we have over 40 studies behind Juice Plus. And I'm going to skip these two. Well, I told you I would tell you about these. Okay, so these are totally out of order. I'm sorry, you guys. But the plant-based omega is something we just added recently. And I wanted to make sure I shared the ingredients with you because it's pretty amazing. A lot of people understand the importance of omega too. And this is where they go down to the algae and get what makes the fish very healthy. So you don't have to have the fishy burps, but you can have the benefit of the algae oil, and then sea buckthorn berry, pomegranate oil, raspberry oil, safflower oil, and tomato seed oil. So it's 100% plant-based. And that's important to a lot of people, but also just the omega, you know, the full spectrum of omega is important. And also not having your oil heated, then you're not losing nutrients from those oils. It's cold pressed, it's vegan capsules, it's really quality. So if you're looking for a quality omega, and then I can't help but smile when I talk about the complete shake. I live off of this complete shake. I've had 2 already today. And it's not like I'm on some kind of diet and that's why I'm doing it. I actually love the shake. It tastes so good. And it's got all these ingredients that if you put this on a plate, there's no way I would ever eat it. Okay. So broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, chickpea powder, millet, quinoa, amaranth. Those are ancient grains that are very healthy for you. Pea protein, rice protein, water washed soy, which is the healthier soy, like the healthier countries eat. And it's like edamame, and then mushrooms, which provides D vitamins. And so anyway, I love this shake. I make a chocolate peanut butter shake every morning, or some variation of that. And we all have recipes. There's recipe books. We have a group that has them. And then Malena was referring to our new shake that her son, it sounds like, wants more protein. And so, this is for those people who say, I want less sugar, more protein. That's what this was invented for. It's fruit fusion flavoring, and it has what those workout people want, but also I'm a vegetarian. So I like the idea of getting some more protein from plants. And if you've seen any of the recent documentaries, you know that increasing your plants is a way to get healthier pretty much automatically. You know, you want to increase your plants. So here are some things I took off of the juiceplus.com website, the difference between the Perform shake and most other protein shakes. So this one's plant-based. Mostly the protein shakes out there are animal-based, such as whey protein, casein, and then 25 grams versus less than 25 ingredients to support energy production, mental performance, and also less sugar, 6 grams of sugar, which isn't much. And it's from naturally sourced sugars like coconut nectar. When was the last time you had coconut nectar, right? Organic cane sugar, monk fruit extract, which is a non-caloric sweetener. So really good stuff. They really took their time and created a really awesome warm smoothie for those people that might just want to shake it up too after they've had an intense exercise. I know some people do that. And so the Perform shake is awesome. Okay, I'm going to let Karen tell you about what gets us excited about the research. Okay, go ahead, Karen, and maybe share your story.
So I always find it funny that, you know, she passes it off to me with the research, because when I got started with Juice Plus, I knew nothing about research. But my mom was a nurse and my dad, he was in the Navy, but he was a research geek. So the first time we heard about it, and, you know, we went to this presentation and they were talking all about their, you know, research. And I was kind of like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And when we walked away, my parents were like, wow, that research. And I was like, really? So I just knew I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables. I grew up, I was adopted. I always like to throw this in here because my biological mother had allergies and asthma. And when I was younger, I don't even know at what age, I started having allergies and asthma. And so I had the best treatment, but I wish I had had preventative care. So what I mean by that is I had allergy shots. I was on all the prescription stuff. I had inhalers. I just had everything medically, you know, medically possible, because my mom was a nurse, for treatment. But nobody ever said, quit drinking the soda, you know, get the Pop-Tart out of your mouth. You know, nobody was talking about eating healthier. I maybe was having, my mom used to have this, I don't know why, it was a half a banana every single morning. We had to have a half a banana. That was her thing. And then maybe I had a vegetable later in the day. So I certainly wasn't even coming close to the amount of fruits and vegetables I needed for health, plus to get rid of that. Well, I kind of was discouraged, honestly, until I got to be 34 years old, because the doctors has always told me that it was genetic. There was nothing I could do. You're always going to have allergies and asthma. So I kind of just said, okay, I'm going to be on medication and I'll just live with it. And nobody ever said anything about nutrition. So I continued to eat badly. I had a sales job. I would stop off and I would literally eat a bagel and a Slurpee for lunch. I mean, it was pretty bad. So fast forward to when I was pregnant with my son and somebody introduced me to Juice Plus. And I didn't really get a lot of the, the research. I didn't care, but I just knew I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables. And mainly, I think God kind of brought Juice Plus to me at that point, because I don't know that I would have gotten it years before. I don't know in my 20s that I would have cared, but now all of a sudden being pregnant and caring more about the baby inside of me, I did care. So I started taking Juice Plus with honestly not much expectation. And then by the end of the pregnancy, I realized, and maybe you guys have been through this or somebody, but you don't necessarily notice when you're getting better or you're feeling better, or maybe you don't have the health issues you had. You notice when you're not feeling good, but when all of a sudden you don't not feel good anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. I didn't notice that. So it wasn't until the end of the pregnancy when somebody said something about allergies, and I thought, I haven't been able to take my prescription medicine and I haven't needed anything. I haven't needed anything over the counter. So all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, if those little capsules can do this, imagine if I changed my eating. So that's why Sharon talks about the one simple change. So really I started with, during the pregnancy, I eliminated soda. So that was the only thing I changed. And then after that, I did start to change, more things, eliminating some things and adding in some things. And I mean, I've met up with old friends who say, I can't believe you're sitting there eating, a kale salad, and I'm eating quinoa, and I'm eating all of this stuff. I used to eat cheese and crackers for dinner. So not that I don't want cheese and crackers for dinner, but I know better now. So it's just made such a difference. The research, what I love about the research is Dr. Du Bois said years ago that you're known by the company you keep. And so I want you guys to take a look at some of these universities, and we don't have time to go into a lot of the research, but we have research on cardiovascular health. It's amazing at the University of Maryland, MD Anderson Cancer Institute in Houston, Texas. We have research with ovarian cancer survivors. There's research with insulin resistant boys, 13-year-old boys at Nemours in Jacksonville. So there's so much great research out there that really the only way that you're going to have the impact on your body is to eat that many fruits and vegetables. And as we kind of talked about, I don't know that many people that are. I know I try, and I am good some days and not others. So this is what I love. This is kind of just a really quick synopsis. We have research that Juice Plus contributes to cardiovascular wellness. It reduces systemic inflammation. It improves your immune system. It strengthens your immune system. You don't want to boost your immune system. You want to strengthen it. Healthy skin and gums. It helps to actually protect your DNA. So what it does is your DNA replicates. And if you have DNA that's kind of going bad and not in health, that's not healthy, and that replicates, then you're going to have bad DNA replicating. Juice Plus actually helps to keep it healthy, so you have healthy DNA cells replicating. It's absorbed by the body, which is so important. There's Dr. Du Bois. There's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. I mean, that to me is the most powerful statement. The healthy starts for families, I love, because the company not only wants a parent to get healthy, but they know how important it is for kids. And there's so many sick kids right now. We have a nurse in the company, Wendy Campbell, who does a talk, and she talks about how years ago when she was a nurse, there was no children's hospitals, and now they're around the country. We have so many kids with so many illnesses that used to be just adult, and for older people. So the Children's Health Study, the company had the foresight to say, okay, we're going to, get mom and dad healthy, and then we'll get the kids healthy for free, because we don't want them to make a choice between getting the kids healthy and themselves healthy. So I love that the company does that. So your kids are free, ages 4 through 18, and actually undergrad and college, for up to 4 years. And I hope that you were reading some of the statistics while I'm sitting here talking, because it's really, my kids have not had, that was the biggest mom win for me, is I really thought, being told that, my allergies and asthma were genetic, that, oh my gosh, I'm having these kids and they're going to have allergies and asthma, and they don't. So it's not genetic, maybe if they started eating really unhealthy and they weren't taking the Juice Plus, maybe they would start to, get those symptoms, but they haven't. So, and I will say that, it's the 61% eating more fruits and vegetables it's so great. It actually worked a little bit on my husband, not a lot, but a little bit.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah. And I just said to my 22-year-old, oh my gosh, the one that was in the first picture, he's going to be 23 in March. I said, when was the last time you were sick? Because I was telling him, because he's like, sales is like, you have to be able to talk to people and you have to be able to do this or that. And I'm thinking, he's kind of thinking maybe he should share Juice Plus as a family, And I said, or you believe in it so much, you just start talking about it to people. I said, when was the last time you've been to the doctor? And he's like, I don't know. Like, it just is a whole different quality of life when you do a healthy habit every day. So he's gotten his Juice Plus for free or at home, for 23 years. It's been pretty amazing for him to have that. And I didn't even finish my story, that it's pretty much like Karen's, no more allergies or allergy shots. I'm not as run down. And all those good things, staying out of the doctor's office. I said to him, when was the last time you went for a quote sick visit and needed an antibiotic? He's like, never, pretty much. So anyway, it really makes a huge difference in the family. Something else that was included in our line of products, we really don't have a lot of products. So the company is very careful about our message. Our message is more whole food nutrition. And we were telling everybody, no, we don't just pop capsules and drink shakes all day. We do still recommend you eat fruits and vegetables and, be careful, try to increase good whole food nutrition, preferably non-genetically modified, vine ripened. Like I said earlier, this is a way where you could grow your own, on your back porch. It's a vertical, meaning it goes up and down. It doesn't take up a whole plot of land. Way to grow your own herbs and lettuces, things like that. So it was incorporated into our line of products like 10 years ago. And everybody's loving having their tower garden. It's like having a new child where you share pictures every day of, hey, this is how they're growing, and you just show off your tower garden. It's pretty amazing, and it's fun and it's relaxing, and it just makes you happy. So it takes less water, less space, more yield, 3 times faster. It's basically the nutrients and water at the bottom, and then it pumps up to the top, and then it showers the roots with the nutrients in the water. It's plugged in, so you don't have to remember to water it, which is the key for me. And it grows really awesome vine ripened, so that it's not rotting in your refrigerator, which is what would happen to me and still does sometimes. Vegetables, herbs, things like that. So you kind of eat it as you want it, I love it. We have 4 total, and here's my husband, Doug, and I, we enjoy teaching people about the tower garden, growing our own, giving it away. I love giving it away. That's a lot of fun too. And it's really helped him. This community has helped my husband make simple changes. So if you have somebody in your life that you're like, oh, I wish they would get on the track to better health, the simple changes concept really appealed to my husband. Finally, I had been nagging, that didn't work, praying, that took a long time. Finally, the prayers all came true, where he wasn't a quote walking heart attack. In my opinion, the way he was eating, that's where he was. And so he's really incorporated Juice Plus, and he's been able to get on a better track to health. The shake had a lot to do with that, and Juice Plus, and just this community. So I just want to tell you, these are our line of products. I did not get to put the Perform shake in there for you. And then our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. So I think you already know that's what Malena is all about, so it only made sense that she would join us on that. And then our company, I want you to know, is not a fly-by-night company. It's been around for over 50 years. We're in over 20 countries. We're part of the wellness industry where people really want to be well, and they want to have that quality of life where you can work at home. People are now discovering, oh, I like working at home. And so she's going to be helping to share the #1 product in the world and the most researched and doctor recommended and free for children and safe for children and pregnant women, which you don't find that with other things. And she'll be sharing as she lives life on social media, sharing education. That's what we're all about. And then we have lots of resources we can give: cookbooks, at-home workouts, healthy starts for families, which Karen was talking about, the Shred 10, which Malena was talking about. So we have a lot to offer. You'll be seeing her sharing more and more as time goes on. And as she learns more, she'll be sharing with you guys. So thank you so much for listening. I'll hand it back to Malena for any additional things you want to say to the people on the recording and the people who are attending.
I'll use the phone. It worked better. Sorry about that. No, I just wanted to thank everybody for joining. I know it was tough during the week and so late in the evening, but truly felt it in my heart to make sure that I share it with my closest and dearest. If you want any additional information, you know where to find me. I already got a couple questions on my phone that I will reach out and ask Karen for some support on. But other than that, I appreciate y'all and I want to continue to get healthy for me and my family and hope that you want to do the same. But thank you, Sharon and Karen.
Our pleasure.
I love that. Well, we're actually going to stop the recording, but we can answer some of the questions now, so we don't have to worry about that later. So hold on.